Okay, so here is part 2 of the lesson. We'll just pick up where we left off. We had been talking about isotopes and how there are different versions of atoms and they have different masses, and the reason they have different masses is because they vary in the number of neutrons. And if you remember at the beginning of the notes, we talked about the purpose of a neutron. Well, the purpose of the neutron is to help stabilize the nucleus. Well, what can happen is if you don't have the correct number of neutrons in the nucleus, it can make the nucleus unstable. And we refer to that as being radioactive. These unstable isotopes undergo radioactive decay, which means they emit particles and or radiation in order to become more stable. So, because a nucleus doesn't have enough or has too many neutrons, it can be unstable and give off radiation. So some isotopes of some elements are radioactive. We don't really get into radiation all that much, but oftentimes this radioactive decay, these particles or radiation that's emitted, can be harmful to us. So in some ways we can use that for good things. Some of the medical radiation therapy for cancer and stuff like that is putting that to good use. Some of it is more dangerous. So, the last thing we need to talk about is how the relative atomic mass is calculated. And I will expect you to be able to calculate the relative atomic mass if I give you some of the data for the different isotopes of an element. So this is an example problem. The stuff in purple here is all stuff that would be in the question. Okay, so this would be like the question on a worksheet or on a test. I believe there is a question like this on the practice quiz. So, again, all the highlighted here, highlighted stuff here is stuff that would be given to you in the question. Lithium has 2 isotopes. Lithium-6 with 3 neutrons and lithium-7 with 4 neutrons. And then I give you the abundance or the percentage of lithium that is that type of isotope or that particular isotope. So lithium-6 occurs about 8% of the time. Lithium-7 occurs about 92% of the time. So again, that's all given information. And now I expect you to be able to calculate what the relative atomic mass is. And the way we do that is we take the mass number, so in this case 6, we multiply that by the percentage, but the percentage written as a decimal. If we think of what percent means, it means per 100. If I have 8%, that is the same thing as saying 8 over 100, or 8/100th. The trick is, if you're going from percentage to decimal, all you do is you move the decimal point over 2 places to the left. So 8 becomes 0.08, 92% becomes 0.92. So you just take the mass number, which is given to you in the question, 6, times the percentage written as a decimal. So 6 times 0.08. We get a number. We do that for the other isotope. 7 times the percentage written as a decimal. So 7 times 0.92. We get a number. And then we just add those 2 numbers. Now some people get a little confused because they see that word average. Remember, one of the names of this number, if I'm going to scroll back here real quick, one of the names of this number is average atomic mass. It's not really a true average. Because it's these percentages are coming into play. So all you do is you take those 2 numbers, 0.48 and 6.44, and add them together. A lot of people want to then divide by however many numbers there are, but don't do that. So you just add them together, and that is your answer, 6.92. So the calculated relative atomic mass is 6.92. Now there is a way to check this. If you look at your periodic table, we see lithium is 6.941. Your answer should be close to the answer that's on the periodic table for that element. And it's not going to be exactly the same because when they actually figure it out for the periodic table, they use much better than just about 8% and about 92%. They use much more accurate percentages, so therefore they get a more accurate answer. It should be in the same ballpark. 6.92 and 6.941 are pretty close to each other. If you are way off from what the periodic table says, that should be a sign that you did it wrong. And that is it for Chapter 3, Part 2 notes. If you get stuck on any of the practice quiz questions, have these notes, look them over, watch this video again, whatever. It should help you, should cover all the material for the practice quiz. Like usual, if you have any questions, email me, stop by on our off days. I'm there every day, first hour if you need help. See you soon.